Let's go straight to the point. You cannot beat Ben 10 Protector Firth on the Wii without the aliens. On certain parts, it's impossible to continue without the aliens, such as platforming and defeating the bosses. But technically, since defeating the bosses are cutscenes, you only need the aliens to pass through the levels. So the question is, what's the minimal number of transformations to beat the game? I will be answering that question, but will not actually complete the minimalist challenge. The reason is that the game has a great mechanic in which when you transform, you regenerate all of your health. Obviously, I'm gonna take advantage of that mechanic because I'll be dying a lot. Obviously, when I transform to regenerate health, I won't do anything with the aliens. I won't attack anything, I won't move unless for platforming or avoiding enemies. And if I do, I will restart the entire level or the fight. To have a minimalist transformation run, basically all of your fights need to be perfect, or you will die. I am not an expert gamer, I just wanted to see if I could beat this challenge. So the rules are: normal difficulty, no glitches, no secret codes, obviously no aliens, and if I transform into an alien, I will not attack a single enemy. Any violation of the rules means restarting the level or fight. Before the challenge actually begins, I first want to apologize that the gameplay looks like shit, because my computer is a fucking potato and couldn't record more than 3 frames per second, and for some weird reason the colors change from time to time. And yes, when I get a better computer, I will do this challenge again, but on the hard difficulty, which is not likely. And maybe stream it on Twitch. The first level was a piece of cake and wasn't too challenging, and throughout the levels I developed a strategy. First take out the ranged enemies, and then the other enemies by punching them a couple of times and running away like a little baby. We have our first forced transformation in the first level. The fires can only be extinguished by heat blast, and you can't progress until the fires are out. So my idea was to use the aliens as least as possible, so I wanted to clear the debris as Ben. But he is too weak and the debris didn't look like it was taking damage. So I gave up quickly and used an alien. After you clear the debris, there is a large gap that only Heat Blast can pass, because he has a gliding mechanic. So in our theoretical minimalist run, we used Heat Blast once. And not to say the same thing again and again, I'll just put this counter and count whenever we must use an alien to move forward in the level. Although I died a few times, the level is quite easy. Here, we must use forearms to move the cube-shaped rock and climb over it. I try to use Ben to jump over, but he doesn't jump that high. Here we must again use Heat Blast to jump over a large gap. The boss fight is quite easy, just dodge, punch and kick, and transform whenever you get hit to regenerate health. But because I'm a fucking idiot, I accidentally pressed an attack button and had to restart the entire level. And yes, although I did not harm the boss, I thought it would be cheating if I continued. So I played the entire game again, died a couple of times, but in the end I reached the boss again. And I learned something. Ben is possibly a god because he can block all of these attacks. When the boss is harmed enough, you play a minigame in which you transform into an alien and do special attacks. I decided not to count this to the theoretical minimalist run, because you can argue that these are cutscenes and or minigames. But in the end of the video I will count them in case someone disagrees. The boss literally took me 11 minutes to beat, but can be beaten without the aliens, unless you count the cutscenes. This level was much harder and I even thought about restarting on the easy difficulty, but I pushed through. The Fervor Knights are so much harder to defeat than those stupid drones. Their strategy of punching them and running away to regenerate health never fails, so I did that all of the time. Here we must use Accelerate to continue the level. Ben isn't fast enough to run through the door. I thought I would need an alien to get through some of the platforms, but well-timed jumps and jumping from broken walls did the trick. I just have to say one thing. These fights are really hard. I died multiple times and it only gets worse from here. I thought this challenge was going to be easy because it's a kids game, but I was wrong. Here we must use forearms to move a block in order to continue. Ben isn't fast enough to clear the bridge. Do you know how to make the level even harder? Adding a tank as an enemy. The Fervor Champions are the hardest enemies so far. They take 1,000,000 punches to the face and they kill you in 2 hits. The good thing is that they are slow. So the strategy is to punch them a lot, and if you see them starting to attack, run away like a little baby, and if you get hit, heal. You know what's worse than one forever champion? 2 of the annoying bastards. And don't worry, it gets worse. After defeating the forever champions, you must use forums to open a door. In this area, I also thought I would need an alien to get through some of the platforms, but well-timed jumps and jumping from fences did the trick. Here you actually need an alien to continue. Ben can't jump that high. I wanted to see if Ben could jump those last platforms, and he can. The final part of the level was by far the most difficult part so far, because you have to defeat several forever champions in a row. How many exactly? 6 forever champions that you have to defeat, and sometimes you have to fight 4 at the same time, who will kill you in 2 hits and are always chasing you, while at the same time you're being attacked by knights with spears that shoot lasers at you and sort of fast knights with swords. This is a part in which I almost decided to do the run in easy mode, but I decided not to. In the end, I finally won, and it took over an hour to beat level 2. So this has been part 1. I will post the following parts whenever possible. I will record future parts with lower FPS, and hope that my potato of a computer can record it properly. So yeah, that's it. See you.